The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The information warfare surrounding the event of April 25th has reached a level of desperation we have never seen before. Wonders they say shall never cease to happen. While the smoke was still clearing from the battlefield, foreign media outlets like France 24 began writing a very beautiful script designed to cause heart attack in the Malian public and all of us in Africa. They claim that our presidents are all in all, the savior, the protector, the unifier, the messiah, the king of kings, the most loved. General Assimi Goïta has been seriously injured or was missing in action. They used the fact that the prime minister was the one to deliver the official address as proof that the president was incapacitated. But the shocking news to them tonight, we are setting the record part straight. General Assimi Goïta, are all in all, the savior, the protector, is alive. He is healthy and he is in full control of the state. Before we expose the truth about president status and the role of our Russian allies, I want to tell you why you should subscribe to the latest Debunking 1. This is the Vision channel where we share the truth about the African resistance, a movement that is finally waking up. If you want to understand the real stories behind our struggle for our sovereignty and see the world through the eyes of the front line, you are in the right place. Subscribe now to become a member of this community. It's trying to tell you that because the prime minister spoke, the president must be injured. This is a complete misunderstanding of our state protocols during a time of mourning. In Africa, the president has declared 2 days of mourning for our fallen heroes, including the late Defense Minister, General Sadio Kamara. In our tradition and culture, the leader does not seek the spotlight during these hours of grief. He oversees the security of the nation from the shadows, while the civilian head of government handles public announcements. And that was the reason to which we saw the Prime Minister coming out to give us the announcement instead of our all in all. Furthermore, we must address the blatant lie being pushed by the France 24, claiming that the Russian forces, the African Corps, formerly Wagner, have reached an agreement with the rebels and abandoned their posts, because I've seen it circulating that they have run away because the people were too powerful.
Russia's Africa Corps has confirmed the withdrawal of its forces from the northern Malian town of Kidal following an intense clash. The paramilitary group, controlled by Russia's defense ministry and supporting Mali's military-led government, said the decision was taken in coordination with Malian leadership. The development comes after coordinated attacks carried out across the country over the weekend, including in Kidal, as part of broader operations involving regional elements in West Africa.
Now, the Russian military mercenaries, also we know them as the Africa Corps, or some were actually calling them the Wagner Group, have been defeated, and now they're leaving the Kidal region of Mali that have been now overtaken by the rebellions in those regions. Now, these mercenaries are now moving towards Libya. They were granted this access, of course, after negotiations. But at the same time, the Malian military are now taking refuge in the MINUSMA military base. So MINUSMA is this United Nations military bases that are in the region. And of course, these Tuareg rebellions, these jihadist movement, they can't actually attack the MINUSMA because those are just peacekeepers. So some of the Malian military were actually captured by these Tuareg rebellions, and they're in their custody. But of course, this is bringing a very bigger picture into how this Kidal actually fell, because we know the 2-day attack, that on Saturday and on Sunday in Mali, led to them taking over this Kidal region. But again, don't forget that Kidal was actually once or before these military regimes came in through a coup, were actually being controlled by these same rebellions. So it's just a moment whereby now they are retaking back or regaining these areas that they were once controlling. Because again, the military junta led by Assimi Goïta in Mali seems to be having some lapse or relapse in terms of their security apparatus. But again, yes, we are still watching as the region now can maybe turn volatile as the security elements are now gone in terms of course, the surety.
According to strategic business and defense intelligence sources, there was absolutely no deal. These sources confirmed that the African Corps predicted a massive force of 10,000 to 12,000 rebels. That is a huge number of people. A desperate coalition of Azawad Liberation Front and jihadists, and they did not run. Instead of retreating, our Russian allies stood shoulder to shoulder with Fama. They were the ones who provided the intelligence and the heavy firepower to neutralize this massive force. They didn't leave. They took full control over the coordinated strikes, points in Bamako, Kati, and across the north. The claims of a withdrawal are a psychological operation by France to make the Malian people feel abandoned by Russia, and that now it is the time for them to come back into the continent to protect us. But the reality on the ground is that the alliance is stronger than before. It's just like what happened in Iran when they came out to tell us certain things, but finally we realized that all that they said were not true. They told us that the first 1 hour everything was neutralized. They told us how the people who are strong enough to come together to protect the regime are all gone, and they are begging for a ceasefire, only for us to see the real people who are begging for a ceasefire, only for us to be told that the same Iranians are very intelligent people, the same people to come and tell us that people never warned them of their missile capabilities. It's the same information warfare they are trying to play on us in Africa. But one thing they have forgotten is the African is wide awoken. We are no longer buying into the narrative of these people, whereby before, when they say this, we lose hope, we rise against our leaders. We saw what has never happened in the history of Africa, when the citizens were the ones who rose up to defend their country. They all tried their possible best, chasing out these people, which has never happened before. Maybe some Africans, especially those of us in the democratic electorate, will believe this. And I saw a lot of us posting this information on social media, buying into the narrative. But as Africans, we should understand that this is information warfare. And sometimes I am not happy when I see our brothers and sisters who are crying for salvation, who are crying for freedom, always creating content with the narrative of these people. And when we do that, the fight becomes difficult, because people get information from different sources and they end up not knowing which is actually the truth. One thing we need to understand: if we continue to help these people to spread information about us, we will never go anywhere. We must be the people who tell our own stories, and we should be able to tell when these people are desperate, to make sure we are the ones that will never go forward. And I also hear some of us, the way we talk and represent the information concerning what is happening in Mali, as if it is just a Malian affair. We are not part of it, and we need to wake up as Africans. What is happening in Mali is affecting you and I. It is not the Malian people that are attacked. It is all of Africa that has been attacked, because these T groups started in Libya when they wanted to take out Muammar Gaddafi. Today, where is Libya and where is Mali? Where is Nigeria? Where is Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso? And will continue to spread. Look at what is happening in Congo. So if it has not reached your end, don't sit here to think that what is happening in other countries, we are not part of it as Africans. They have started because they did everything possible in their power to make sure they weaken the African, but we are not allowing them. And when you look at the comment section, the replies that these people had concerning the misinformation, they never expected it. And you can see that the African is wide awoken. We need to wake up. We need to stand firm. They are always quick in spreading news concerning us in the negative way. But we will let them understand that psychological games they used to play on us is over. The African has risen, and there's nothing that will bring us back. Just as we saw happen in Iran, and at the end of the day we saw that nothing was the truth. It's the same thing they are doing in Mali. Whatever the situation might be, it is only our all in all that can give us the actual truth concerning ourselves. And we must start to learn to listen to our leaders and not what other people tell us. And we should see ourselves as one people, because Captain Ibrahim Traore warned us of this black winter. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Mali.